What does my backdrop tell you about me?
Yours is like sleek, but in a different way from Laura's. I think that you also like just look like you take this a little bit more seriously because you have the sound proofing.
Sleek but different. That's what I'm going to get a tattoo of that. Welcome to Millennial, the home of pretend adulting and real talk. I'm Andrew.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Pamela.
And it's been a uniquely crappy week in America, so we just wanted to run through a couple of things that have been happening really quickly. First of all, sorry to start the show off this way, everybody, but an ICE agent killed Renee Good, who was trying to get away from a standoff with agents, and Trump and his cronies were quick to jump to conclusions in order to protect this murderous ICE agent. And this sparked nationwide protests that are still ongoing. The administration, and this is the part that it's really, really, really frustrating, is trying to twist the truth. But raw video is fact, right, Pam?
Yeah, I think that, we're living in a time when it's really hard for some people to differentiate between what is fact and what is fiction for a number of reasons. And you hear a lot of people also say that they don't trust the media. And that's fine if you feel that way, but you should trust raw video footage. And I think that that is really what a lot of this comes down to. I had a similar sense witnessing this story unfold as I did when George Floyd was murdered and the Black Lives Matter movement kind of had a resurgence and on the main stage in 2020, which is just that we're living in a time when this raw footage can get delivered to the masses very quickly. And I think that sometimes when you see something that's completely unedited, it's hard to watch. If it's something awful like this, it's also hard to look away, and it's hard for you to wrap your head around something that is other than what you see on the screen before you. So, yeah, I just encourage people to at least trust in raw footage if they don't want to trust in packaged stories.
Yeah. Believe your own eyes and ears. And I mean, there's lots of videos analyzing exactly what happens regarding Renee Good. And I think the evidence is pretty conclusive once you take it all into account. She was trying to get away. She was not trying to hit the officer. But the way Kristi Noem and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance were so quick to blame her, it was disgusting. They don't even want an investigation. They don't want the state of Minneapolis helping with the investigation.
She's not one of them.
And they're trying to investigate Renee Good's wife now. It's abhorrent. It's just like, I really feel like we're living in the Hunger Games at this point. Seriously.
We really are. And I mean, haven't multiple members over at Justice resigned over this? Didn't you hear about this?
I did.
Like, it's just, it's wild. And there was a lot of hay being made out of the fact that the identity of the officer was revealed. The officer who shot her. And I'm like, sorry, we don't do secret police in this country. That's feeling a little Nazi Germany. To me.
Right.
So take off your fucking mask. Don't be a pussy. If that's who you're going to be.
Don't block your badge numbers.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing too. You see a lot of these people now and they're just like blocking their badge numbers because they know they're doing things that are wrong.
So now Kristi Noem is sending in more ICE agents to the state of Minnesota. And the state of Minnesota has been facing the brunt of so much shit from this administration. And it's been going on for years. And our hearts go out to the people of Minnesota. I mean, they have just been through it so many times. But looking at some other stories from the last week or two, as most of you know by now, Trump is just sort of picking countries to take, including Venezuela and Greenland. The Trump administration also committed a war crime when they disguised a combatant plane as a civilian one when striking a Venezuelan boat. That came out on Monday. Also, over the weekend, the Trump DOJ opened an investigation into the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, after he didn't bow to pressure to lower interest rates. So they're continuing to put pressure campaigns on their perceived enemies. And just today, Tuesday, a Ford auto plant worker yelled at Trump that he was a pedophile protector, to which Trump replied, "Fuck you," and gave him the finger. So that was a fun little story.
Very presidential.
Why would that get under Trump's skin?
I wonder why. Well, he was probably pissed because the Clintons refused to show up to their hearing today.
Mhm.
Not sure if y'all heard about that with
Yeah.
regards to Epstein.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, if you want to subpoena everyone who's named in those damn files, by all means, please do. But it is falling along some partisan lines.
Oh, yeah, and
Per
how
usual.
many hours upon hours of hearings did Hillary sit through in regards to her emails? Like, she's done
Yeah.
plenty of time. I know we're biased here, but she's gone through plenty of shit when it comes to Republicans. If I'm, her age and Bill's age at this point in my career, I'm not wasting time with this Epstein stuff, if it's going to be so biased.
Well, we're going to see what happens. They're saying they're going to hold them in contempt of Congress, but I don't know. I feel like if the Trump administration has shown anything over these last couple of terms, it's that subpoenas don't really mean anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer them.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
And, you can commit war crimes. It's no big deal. You can kill your own citizens and get away with it. No big deal. But getting back to this Renee Good story, we thought, Laura, it'd be good to remind people of their rights when it comes to ICE agents.
Yeah, just considering the fact that this administration is continuing to escalate this, and it does seem like they're targeting blue states and their cities more, but there are a few things that are good to know, good to remember. When it comes to knowing your rights, if you are approached by ICE or other legal enforcement, it is important to know this now more than ever. And please just know this is not legal advice from us here at the show. We are not equipped to provide that, but this is straight from the National Immigrant Justice Center and the ACLU. So from their guidance, a couple of things that are important to remember. All people present in the United States have rights regardless of citizenship status. You are also allowed to stay silent. There are a couple of things to know here. If you are not a U.S. citizen and an immigration agent requests your immigration papers, you do have to show them if you have them with you. If you don't have them, though, you can tell the officer that you want to remain silent or that you want to consult a lawyer before answering any questions. It's also really important to remember that in a number of states, you actually do have to give your name if you are stopped by law enforcement and asked to identify yourself. But even if you do give your name, you don't have to answer other questions beyond that. I know that that can be a little confusing because a lot of the guidance that's out there says just stay silent, period. But there are some states where you do have to identify yourself. When it comes to your home, you do not have to open your door unless ICE has a signed judicial warrant, and they usually don't. And often the warrants that they have are signed by other ICE officers, which do not permit them entry to your home without your consent. Additionally, if you are a U.S. citizen and feel safe to do so, you should record the activity with your phone or write down any relevant information about what you witness, always being careful to not interfere or otherwise obstruct the operation. That part is pretty critical because we've seen how quickly some of these situations have escalated because ICE clearly has not received very much de-escalation training. Actually, scratch that. They have not received any de-escalation training. So you want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and not putting yourself in harm's way, because if you're not okay, then you can't be of help to other people. Couple of do nots. Do not post unverified information on social media. That's not going to help anybody. And also, just really doubling down on this, do not interfere or otherwise put yourself in harm's way. It is okay to video. It is okay to ask questions. And some of the things that are good key phrases to have in mind in these moments, if you are being stopped by ICE, you can ask things like, am I free to go? am I being detained? And you can repeat those over and over and over until they tell you, yes, you are free to go, and you can walk away calmly. You can also say things like, I do not consent to a search if they are asking for one without a warrant. You can also say, I do not consent to you entering my home if they are escalating outside your front door, as we've seen various examples unfortunately happening. And remembering that you can always ask to speak to a lawyer, even if you don't have one on speed dial. Most of us don't, right? But you can still make that request. That is your right to do. And I think most importantly of all, it is important to remember that ICE is allowed to lie to you. So I've seen examples of them trying to talk up certain stories to kind of make bystanders think that ICE is on their side to see if they can get additional information out of people. So I just think it's really important to remember that they are allowed to lie to you, and they will, to get what they want. So again, it's just really imperative to remember to stay calm and that you don't have to answer any questions beyond identifying yourself and sharing immigration papers if you have them.
All good information to know. Thanks for gathering all that. I do want to add one thing to the do not post unverified info on social media. I know that it is so tempting to post stuff on social media or retweet stuff or even just merely engage with it with a like or a comment to help push any side's narrative further. But I think we're in a really unhealthy period right now where people are just not fact checking anything. And two less important and light examples of this are in recent weeks, people had been posting like crazy that MTV and PBS separately were being shut down and it just that they were over. And it just wasn't true. And it's just shocking how many people so easily fall for this stuff. And if you're falling for that stuff, you're going to be falling for the more serious stuff. So everybody just needs to start clicking into articles, tapping into articles, as people like to use that phrase, taking a moment, practicing media literacy, and just being really cautious when sharing any information.
You know what's crazy is that, a lot of these sites now have, especially social media sites, they have these pop-ups that ask you, are you sure you want to repost this before you read it? And people are just bypassing that.
It was a
'Cause
good
we're so
idea, but it
desensitized by
hasn't helped
pop-ups. We're just
anything.
like, get it out of here,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like, it kind of sucks because I actually thought that was a great idea. And sometimes I laugh when it's like, if I'm like sharing something that a friend of mine like created or something. So it's like, I know that there's something dangerous, but I just kind of get a little chuckle thinking like, oh yeah, like this person's like, so, but it's like, it's really there for stuff like this that you're talking about. So maybe heap a little bit more attention to that as well. Even if you think what the article says, you have no idea if like the headline says one thing and the body of the article says another. So it's good practice overall.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we've all been there where we read news articles and once we tap in and actually read the whole thing, it's not as bad as the headline is making it out to be. These organizations are incentivized to make these headlines as scary as possible so that you will click in or reshare them. And, it's, of course, I'm not trying to stick my head in the sand and say the news that we read isn't as bad as it actually is. But once you read all of the details, the story is often very different than the headline makes it appear to be.
Yeah, and I would just add too, especially with the amount of video that we're seeing, it is really important to make sure that you're looking closely at video before you share it, because there are a lot of AI fakes out there. Unfortunately, I stumbled across a TikTok that was literally a bunch of AI generated videos of people doing things to ICE, like a grandma hitting an ICE officer with her chancla. And I understand I think the intent behind doing that. I don't think it's helpful because it just puts misinformation out into the world, where we have plenty of real legitimate video of ICE fucking around, and we don't need to be confusing people. And you can usually tell if you watch a video for long enough, if it's AI generated, the people aren't moving right. It's kind of hard to describe, but
and
they
have
just
6
don't.
fingers.
Yeah, they don't move naturally, and like the interactions are not natural. So just keep an eye out, and most importantly of all, stay safe.
Well, if we can't get people to practice media literacy when it comes to reading news articles, maybe they will be able to learn media literacy when it comes to videos, because that's like half the reason all this information flies around. We don't read anymore, but we do watch things. So maybe people will slowly become trained on what is an AI video and what isn't. I know that will be an uphill battle because the AI videos are also going to get better, but I'm an optimist. What can I say? So we'll leave the news there for now. Coming up in a moment, we're going to talk about how people have actually gotten ruder since the pandemic, and we're going to look back on things we actually missed from the pandemic. But first, we want to remind our pals about a couple of things, right, Laura?
Yep, this show is brought to you by listeners like you. By supporting us over at patreon.com/millennial, you can get instant access to lots of perks, including After Dark. And this week in After Dark, we're going to be talking about what's in a name. Do our names, the names that we were given at birth, do they influence who we are as people? And this was inspired by the fact that apparently the youths have determined that Jessica is the new Karen, because Jessica is a far more common name in the millennial generation. And so now, the Jessica stereotype, I guess, has been born. So we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about our own perceptions of names and sort of how they can influence the way we see ourselves and other people. So should be interesting.
And I also would like to directly address the 3 Jessicas who are our patrons. That would be Jessica A, J, and R. We love you 3 Jessicas. There are no issues with you whatsoever. And thank you for your support at patreon.com/millennial.
I actually don't have any issues with any Jessicas, to be fair.
Yeah, I was trying to think if I ever had issues with any Jessicas either, and I don't think I did.
This came as a shock to me.
There was a Jessica in fandom, and I think back on her, and I'm like,
In
didn't
a
give
bad way,
Jessica
though?
a good name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just mid. A mid
right.
Jessica.
A mid Jessica. Well, other ways to help us out include wearing your love, and you can do that by picking up official show merch by visiting shop.millennialshow.com. We'd also appreciate it if you told a fellow millennial about the show, and make sure you're following us in your favorite podcast app.
Jenna in our Discord said, I was almost named Jessica. Phew! Oh, we would have loved you too, Jenna, not Jessica. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So there was a study we wanted to talk about from Pew that revealed people have reportedly gotten ruder since the pandemic. So we wanted to look at the data and also look back at the things from peak COVID that we actually do miss. So this Pew study says that nearly half of U.S. adults, 47%, say the way people behave in public these days is ruder than before the COVID-19 pandemic. That includes 20% who say behavior today is a lot ruder. Another 44% of adults say public behavior is about the same, while only 9% say people are behaving a lot or a little more politely in public. Does that feel true to you two?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I also think people forgot how to drive.
Oh, okay.
I could see that. Yeah. There's a lot of people that were working from home and now they don't know how to be in rush hour traffic that they're also responsible for contributing to. So I feel that.
Right. It just feels like they're in their bubbles. And there's like so often people who just switch lanes and they don't even look. Like, what are you doing?
Maybe they got cameras on their screens and they can see without looking behind them.
I also think that people, like, no shade to you, Andrew, but I think specifically Tesla drivers, I swear to God, like they, like the amount of stuff that I see, maybe it's confirmation bias. It's like they just rely too much on the cameras to catch everything, specifically like bad parking jobs. It's like, do you want your car to get hit? Why are you taking up more than the space you need? Why did you park poorly and then expect everybody else to park around you when the parking lot is full.
That's interesting to me because I feel like the cameras, no matter what vehicle has these cameras, a lot of these cars have like these bird's eye view camera systems now. Have you seen these where it gives you like a 360-degree view? They're amazing. You would think the cameras actually make people better parkers.
Definitely not.
Okay, damn. But yeah, I agree that the people have gotten ruder since the pandemic. People just seem more entitled, and I don't know.
I think part of it too is like we were like forced to fend for ourselves, like look out for, like, obviously a lot of COVID was like, the mindset of if you're not taking care of yourself, at least do it to take care of like other people around you. And I think like the people that were already compassionate and empathetic probably understood that message more. And then there are other people that are like, nope, gonna look out for mine, me, myself, and I. And I think that, a couple years of that really probably seeped into a lot of what we're seeing now, where people are just like, I only care about myself. I don't care about anyone else.
I agree. Honestly, we are the furthest thing from a collectivist society. We are heavily individualistic, and I feel like for a lot of people, COVID made them double down on that even more. I feel like a lot of people now have the mentality of like, why would I put on a mask for you? That's not my fucking problem,
Well, and I hate to bring up politics again, but I do kind of feel like it's the Trump world that has contributed to this.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, the leader of our country is just objectively not a nice, kind, thoughtful, empathetic person. So we're at, what, 5+ years of that, not including the Joe Biden years when he was still being a shithole. It's just made people think like, well, why do I have to be nice if our own president isn't? And there's this whole attitude of like freedom, individual rights, like nobody could tell me what I can do, don't tread on me, all that fucking
Yeah.
But God forbid somebody
have that
also
fucking
says
flag.
that. Yeah.
Right.
It's funny because those people are like, nobody can tell me what to do, but I want to tell other people what to do.
Right.
It's like nobody can also tell you what to do as long as you want to do it the same way I want to do it. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So let's look at the rudest behaviors as gathered by Pew, and I'm going to read these off in order from least to most rude according to the survey. So first, least rude. Bringing a pet into an indoor space like a grocery store or shop. Now, setting aside service animals, I do hate when people do this. Because the rule always is you cannot bring your pet into the store, the coffee shop. They have signs out front. I know your pet's your best friend, but they can be left at home.
Yeah. I don't mind if the pet is like well behaved, but I could see why this is a problem because it's like, this is also assuming that people don't have allergies. I've also been in coffee shops, though, where like people are not controlling their own dogs. The dog's like behind the counter and the people working there trying to like get the dog out.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean, just
that's
from a health
crazy.
perspective, that's the part.
Exactly. So
Allergies,
it's like,
the dog
Yeah.
sneezing on food, like farting.
for every like well-behaved dog that you don't even notice unless like you happen to see it, there's like 10 pets that should not be taken into a store for whatever reason.
You want to know the wildest thing I saw recently at Publix? Actually, I want y'all to guess. I was in Publix at the pharmacy picking up my prescription, and a guy who was probably about my age walked in. He had like a satchel slung over his shoulder, and he had an animal in the satchel. What animal do you think it was?
I'm going to guess a parrot.
A python.
No, it was a bunny rabbit, but a giant.
God.
It was huge. It was a huge rabbit.
Ugh.
But to be honest, like, it was cute. It was so fluffy.
You don't
and
like
cute.
rabbits, Andrew?
Well, I'm just saying a big rabbit, that kind of gives me the creeps.
Well,
for some
rabbits
reason.
can get pretty big.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing. I'm kind of with Pam on this, where like, if it's not disruptive, I personally am not going to gripe about it. And I wasn't even upset about this bunny. My first thought was, oh my God, what a cute bunny. And I like caught it with my eyes and I smiled at it, and then I made eye contact with him, and he like mean mugged me for smiling at his bunny. And I was like, bro, you're the one who brought a bunny into the
brought your bunny.
Eyes off my bunny, bitch.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. Like if you come with a cute animal, you should expect to get stopped, right?
Right.
Maybe he thought you wanted to hunt it. Did you like whip out your rifle and start aiming
She didn't
at
say
it?
she looked at it like, ooh, that looks like dinner.
Laura's like,
she said
fresh
she smiled
rabbit.
at the rabbit.
Well, when you're in the food store, I mean, that should be the deal. That should be the deal. Your pet can be hunted if you bring it into the food store.
Oh God.
But
turning into Elmer Fudd.
It's just so inappropriate, especially a food store. You think about the fresh fruit and veggie areas, all that food just sitting out in the open. It's not right to bring an animal in there. Jenna said, I saw a lady at a Five Guys with a ferret. An emotional support
ferrets,
ferret.
And I like ferrets. They're cool, but they're kind of like a little bit feral, are they not?
They're illegal to keep as pets in California.
That's because they are destructive.
Yeah.
All right, next item here. Wearing headphones or earbuds while talking to someone in person. I do find this rude. Now, these days, some people might be wearing AirPods in particular because they have FDA clearance to be like hearing devices.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And remember Charlie Puth? I think it was Charlie Puth. He was at a concert and he was photographed wearing AirPods at the show and people were ragging on him. But he was like, I was using them to protect my hearing, assholes, because they can also cancel out noise. So it's your ears are safer. Or maybe who was that Taylor Swift producer? The guy
Jack
from Fun.
Antonoff.
Jack Antonoff, maybe it was him. But yeah, so you can't really jump to conclusions these days, but I think still generally a lot of people wear headphones when talking to people, and it does come off as rude.
Yeah, I think it's worse if you're like having a conversation with the headphones, especially if you can't see them. The number of times that I think this happened to all of us, where like you make eye contact with somebody that looks like they're talking to you because they're staring at you, but it turns out they're just on the phone.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And now a lot of these headphones have conversation awareness where if you start talking, it'll kind of pass through the outside noise. So we're in this middle ground right now where maybe one day this will become socially acceptable, right? But right now I would say it's still not. That said, I keep my headphones in even when I'm not listening to music, like at the gym, because I don't want people to try and talk to me.
That's different, though, because you're in a place where it's like socially acceptable to wear headphones.
True.
You know?
All right, Pam, I know you really feel this one when we're hiking. Playing music or social media videos out loud. I hate, like I was on a plane a couple weeks ago and someone's across from me, TikTok blaring in the cabin, no headphones. I'm like, I never understand this. Why do people think that other people want to hear your music or your social media feed? It is so frustrating.
How are they not self-conscious about? Like,
I know.
They just don't care.
I just like if I am ever in a public place and I decide to load up TikTok, you better bet I'm putting my headphones on because I don't want people to know how embarrassing my algorithm
is. Also, you just never know when you're going to get something crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like a Quinn ad for erotic audio.
Laura's on the plane, loads up TikTok, and it's like Sylvia Brown highlight reels. She's telling people in the Maury audience that they have lupus, even though they've never met before. This is just my own For You page from the other day.
Yeah, but it's just like going back to the crux of this, it's just odd to me that like every single person that is doing this has the volume up on full blast. I will still side eye you if you have your audio on at all, but at least like try and keep it lower. I won't side eye you as hard if the volume is low, because it could just be like, oh, I got this thing, I didn't have headphones today, I'm just gonna watch it really quick.
Yeah.
But it's just like the full volume is insane to me.
It is. Yeah.
I told you guys that one time I was in a public restroom and I was like, I thought that there was music playing and I was like, why is the music looping? And I realized that somebody in a stall was just scrolling on TikTok.
Come on, just because that's what you do at home doesn't mean...
Yeah. Way to reveal your bathroom habits at home.
Right.
See, people have gotten too comfortable, I think,
they really
since COVID, because they're taking like at-home habits and bringing them out in public, and it's very embarrassing.
This is what I think we need to bring back: public shaming for some things, and that might be one of them.
And to me, that's also a reminder of how many germs, an admission that you're putting so many germs on your phone because you're sitting on the toilet, you've touched a couple things to get into that stall, and now those germs are on the back of your phone forever now, because who cleans their phone? It's
that was something that probably went out of fashion in the pandemic, after the pandemic.
Yeah.
To this point of your story.
This next one, we might be a little split on: cursing out loud. So I'm all for cursing out loud in front of other adults. It's just if there's kids in the room or in the vicinity, sometimes I'll accidentally let a word out and then I notice there's a child and I feel bad. Is that where you all fall, or?
Yeah.
Okay. But cursing out loud in front of adults is fine?
I think it's become a lot more casual. And I don't even think that's a COVID thing. I think it's just become progressively more normal.
To like people right? Because there's a difference between that and like deciding you're going to curse at, the waitress or something.
Right. I think it's like, it's one thing if it's just part of natural conversation versus if you're cursing at somebody, that's a different connotation.
So 65% of people in the survey thought it's rarely or never acceptable to curse out loud in public. That's higher than I would have expected.
I mean, anytime there's like self-reported data like this, I'm like, people are reporting the best parts of themselves because I refuse to believe that 65% of people don't do this.
It is a generational thing. So those who are 65 or older, 89% thought it was rarely or never acceptable to curse in public. And as you get younger, it becomes more acceptable. So, I mean, it makes sense that the three of us are aligned because we're young, mid-20-year-old panelists. Next on the list, and we're going from least to most, rude. Visibly displaying swear words, such as on a t-shirt or sign. This I am actually not really okay with.
Oh, interesting. So like what would be like an example of something like that you would be like,
the
not
quote-unquote worst words.
Okay.
Fuck, shit, see you next Tuesday. Okay. The dirtiest words. I do find it inappropriate to have those on shirts because you don't know what people you're running into out in public. You will probably run into kids out in public, most likely. At least with saying swear words, you can police yourself. Oh, there's a child in the room. I won't say a swear word. But if you are wearing a shirt, what are you going to do? Cover it up when you go by a child? No. It's trashy behavior to me to wear a shirt with like a curse word on it.
What if it's like clever? What if it's some kind of like entendre?
Like this is forking nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so that's fine. Or like, what if you're wearing it to a specific event that's like an adults only type thing?
I guess it really depends what it says, but I still kind of find it trashy to put a swear word on a t-shirt. It's very redneck to me.
You know what? I just think I don't really pay too much attention to what other people put on their bodies. So like this doesn't bother me too much because I probably won't even see it unless it's really bold,
Yeah.
But what does bother me is like when people put like decals on their car and they're kind of vulgar. Like
that's very
anything
similar.
that's like, but it's more like, like the one that I always think about because like one of my relatives had it on the back of their car was like the stick figure that's humping it. So it's like, fuck it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but I think that it was making my eye twitch because I was driving behind this person for the longest time. And I was like, this person doesn't know how to drive. And then the sticker was bothering me. And then sure enough, I pulled into my relative's house and the car was there. So that was fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that's giving the same vibes as people who have that decal of like the little kid pissing.
Oh, yeah.
On the back of their car.
Hobbs. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like people who put like the truck nuts on their car.
Yeah. I hate that more than I hate like, typography, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
The visual symbols and whatnot
are what
bother
I think that's
you.
a little more. I mean, like, what's a little kid really going to like ask more about? Like some word they can't read or like truck nuts. Uncle
Well, but
Andy,
if a
what's
child-
that?
But if a child doesn't know what nuts are, then I don't think they're thinking about it too much.
No, but they're going to see and they're going to be like, what is that? What is that?
Maybe.
Mommy,
Yeah.
Daddy, what is that? Why is it
I will
there?
point out, Riley in the Discord is saying, I have a t-shirt that says Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo Cancer. So like fuck cancer.
Hmm.
And then 40 said, living in Vegas must be tough with this policy, Andrew.
Yeah, do you see a lot
Okay,
of
so-
trashy shirts on the strip when you go?
Oh yeah, definitely. But okay, the fuck cancer stickers, shirts, all that, excellent. Love it. Good intention behind that. But when you see fuck Biden,
Oh,
even,
yeah.
I don't really see fuck Trump, but that's because people on the left aren't mentally ill like that. But yeah, all right. So moving along in this list, bringing a child into a place that's typically for adults, like a bar or upscale restaurant. So this actually does not bother me as long as the child's well behaved.
Yeah. As long as like the environment isn't inappropriate for the child, like if they're well behaved and the environment isn't like a bunch of rowdy drunk people
Mm-hmm.
around, like it has to work both ways.
And
I would just be like, oh, that seems like a very like well behaved little kid.
Mm-hmm.
How nice.
And I'll also say if the child is in the bar, then all bets are off in terms of my cursing out loud rule. I don't really care if I'm dropping the F-bomb while a child's there because it's a bar. That's expected. Upscale restaurant, no, I'll still bite my tongue. But there are
Oh.
certain places that clearly are adult spaces. Or you think about like, Lady Gaga. She's going to drop the F-bomb 30 times during a concert. You can't expect her to hold back because some children are there. That's her.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
venue. Okay, next. And again, we're going from least to most rude as told to Pew by survey takers. Taking a photo or video of someone without asking permission. Depends where.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the intent really matters. If it's like you're in a crowd and you're just taking pictures of an event. Pam, you've talked about this before. Like that's kind of a fair use thing. Like if you're in a public
It
place.
is. Yeah.
But if you're taking photos of somebody because you're targeting them in some way, whether you perceive it to be positive or negative, I think that's fucked up.
I might snap a quick pic, but it would only be to like send it to one person. I'm sure at some point, like
Yeah.
I've sent like, oh, I saw this person's shirt, like made me think of you. You know what I mean? But that's
Right.
different than like being so obvious about it that you're making the other person uncomfortable. And or also
Right.
to your point, taking the footage so that you can post it for, enjoyment or like, just to make fun of somebody else. I think that's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, or just ask permission. Like, I think that's the way to go at pop culture conventions. But also, I was at
Mhm.
Salt Lake City Pride last year, and there was a guy who looked like Jesus dressed as gay Jesus. His sash was rainbow. Like, it was awesome. And I wanted to gaze, and I wanted to take a picture of him and send to somebody I know. But I asked permission. And the nice benefit of asking permission, in addition to it just being the right thing to do, is then they'll pose for you. So, he did a bit of a gay Jesus type of pose, and it was great. And then I don't
How
feel
does a
guilty
gay
about
Jesus
taking his photo.
pose?
He was like, I don't know, a little flamboyant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then the number one rudest behavior, smoking around other people.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not in like a designated area for smoking, then that's really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like smoking while you're walking, like on a
Yeah,
sidewalk, because
I hate
the
that.
the smoke billows behind you, and it's just not fun for anyone.
Yeah. Anything else to add to this list?
These are all pretty big ones. I think. I know
Yeah.
that we've even talked about a few of them, like the headphones in before. So
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my big grievances right now, and this is, I think, related to the overall COVID discussion, is just we've learned nothing because we are having a massive flu surge right now that is knocking people on their asses. And I go out and people are just like in public, not attempting to cover their mouths at all. And
Yeah.
it's just like common decency. At the very least, like cough into your elbow. Please.
Definitely.
Yeah. Whoever put this like not respecting personal space or sitting close to somebody, that's the big one. too
For you.
that I think is not on here. I don't know which
Yeah.
one of you put that in, but
I did because it also dovetails into the second half of this discussion.
okay.
So we're entering the 6-year anniversary of the start of the pandemic, which really kicked off when Tom Hanks got COVID. And we've previously chatted about what the pandemic killed, but I thought we should look at this the other way around. So what got hot during the pandemic and then quickly died off afterward? And I saw Redditors were recently discussing this as well. But yeah, Pam, personal space, that we were all trying to be mindful of that, especially that first year of the pandemic. And there were those stamps on the ground of stores.
Yeah. Well, even just like in public transportation too, it's like, if there is literally any other empty row, I don't want you sitting next to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to be sandwiched together, stranger. Please just go spread out
It is super
in that
weird
other
when people
row.
do
It's
that.
weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
think they're just
explaining.
on autopilot.
Yeah. I mean, I get if it's just for like one stop. Usually you can tell because they're sitting like they're about to get back up. It's like, okay, that's fine. I'll forgive you.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're settling in for the long haul, I really appreciated when I took Amtrak in October that the on the way to Seattle, the conductor was like so good, like in my cabin or in the train car that I was on. He was so good about like making sure that like people that were there for the long haul had a row to themselves if they could.
Oh,
and
wow.
then he was putting all the people that were like short term or getting off together in the same row. And I was like, that guy, like, he's a real one.
Nice.
Because, it's a long trip.
Yeah.
Of course, you'd want to spread out a little bit if you could. So I appreciated him.
So what else was hot during the pandemic and has since disappeared? 3% mortgage rates.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to see those again.
That's the scary part. What's your interest rate, Laura? Give it to me.
I'm at 4%.
Okay, I'm lower, 2.75.
Yeah.
So I'm never leaving.
I got mine before COVID, though.
Oh, right. I know somebody who did refinance during COVID here in Vegas, and he's very happy that he did. And like, the thing is, like, you feel like the interest rate is so good. I can't go to, what is even the interest rate right now? 7% or so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the national average is up around 7.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully it'll get back to around 4, but like 2.75.
Yeah. Mama G got in at 2%. She refinanced during the pandemic.
Oh,
Good for her.
Yeah.
That's some
she had
Jesus.
and you know what? She had somebody that she knew very well, like, is like started off as somebody she used to work with, and then they became friends outside of work, called her up and said, do it now. Here's everything you need right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So then she
That's
paid it
awesome.
forward, and she called a couple people she knew also, and she was just like, do it right now.
Meanwhile, my dad said, don't buy a house. Everything, the world's ending.
Right.
He never admits he was wrong, but this time he did, which was shocking.
Look at you now.
Look at me now. Look at me now, Dad. This is a fun one. Fun and varied video conferencing backdrops. Remember we used to have fun with those? We were under the ocean. We were in the
like
sky.
people were in aquariums.
Yes. We were in different cities. Micah loved doing the Hogwarts one on MuggleCast.
On brand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now everybody, I guess, the three of us, I think, have pretty good backdrops. Laura recently changed hers, and
Laura's
I think it's like,
great.
I think those in the Discord, tell us right now who you think has the best backdrop.
Oh,
Laura's,
you're making us compete.
one thing I like about Pam's is that she has vinyls behind her to her right, and she changes out like the featured one almost every week.
I
We don't talk about that enough. Like,
It's
Pam's
a little Easter egg
It's
for people that are
subtle.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
little Easter egg.
Yeah.
I recently promoted one of my Labubus to a spot behind me.
Not the Lafufu
okay.
though.
No, I gave the Lafufu to my nephews and told them it's a real Labubu.
That's good. They found a good home.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you didn't leave
They're
it
going to
stranded
find
at the
out
bar
one
again.
day.
Yeah.
No, their father will not let them listen to this podcast. They don't want to.
No, but like all it's going to take is for somebody in their life to be like, this is a Lafufu. He lied to you.
Yeah, so Discorders, let us know. One commenter on Reddit said, I took a picture of my office wall from my webcam's perspective and made it the background on my Teams for work, home, and second home. No one literally knew where I was, even when we went from work from home to hybrid. That is incredible. All you got to worry about that at that point is your internet connection. As long as that's good, you're golden. You could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. And you show up on time.
Yeah.
I remember some students were doing that to get around having to be present for virtual classes. They would video themselves.
Yeah, they were getting
sitting,
too smart.
and then they would just play that as their background.
Mm-hmm. I remember, the story's not really funny, but I remember once being on a meeting with somebody and I just looked at their video and I was totally convinced they were sitting, their backdrop was their real room. And then at some point in the conversation, I was like, oh, I really like your house. It looks beautiful. And they're like, oh, that's not a real backdrop. This is a fake photo. I was like, oh, well, you could have fooled me.
I mean, it's smarter to do it that way because I don't know if y'all remember, but like people were also buying full backdrops, like they were, or like wallpaper that looked like bookshelves because they wanted to look well read.
Yeah.
And I think we highlighted in an article at one point, there was a company dedicated to providing you with lots of books for behind you.
Yeah.
And they would ask you like, what kinds of books, where do you fall politically? And they would pick books that would align with your values. I wonder if that company's still around.
That's funny. I mean, I guess a lot of people still work from home. So if you want an aesthetic backdrop, I'm constantly surprised too because you still see a lot of these like, in the entertainment world, a lot of these interviews that come out with actors or musicians and in their homes, and I'm always surprised by how so many of them are just like at a plain wall,
Yeah.
no personality. I guess it's safer that way because you don't want people to like really know what the inside of your house looks like, protect your peace. But I just think to myself, like, if you're doing this with any regularity, like we are, right? Like, it's worth it at least to tailor a corner for that so that that's like what your backdrop is going to be. That's kind of like what I do here. It's like you don't see this unless I'm recording. So
wow, so nobody's voting for me.
oh,
ouch.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I know my backdrop's not amazing, but it's not bad either. But guys, I have a fake plant behind me. What more do you want?
Where's your plant?
You can't really see it. It's right down here.
Oh, it's a fake plant. That's cute.
Yeah, fake, but it's a plant.
It's very cute. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to learn from this. Thank you.
I think that
Laura and
everybody's
Pam are tied.
background.
Oh, somebody voted for me. Thanks, Sam.
I was going to say, I think that there's a lot of votes for everyone too. That's actually just one. My bad. I was going to say that the thing that I like about our backdrops is that I feel like they're very representative, kind of who we are as people. Like,
Yeah,
it's really fun just to see like if you do have people in your lives that are like actually trying to do it themselves, like what they choose to like represent themselves behind.
What does my backdrop tell you about me?
It's just like yours is like sleek, but in a different way from Laura's. I think that you also like just look like you take this a little bit more seriously because you have the soundproofing behind you too. So it's very much like professional audio nerd. That's
it's like
vibe.
Minimalist.
Yeah.
But like professional minimalist.
Yeah, professional audio nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That your guys are repeating what I have in my Bumble profile. So you
really?
nailed it. You're nailing it.
Oh, you're not telling people you're a podcaster anymore, right?
That's
I'm
right.
a professional minimalist.
Sleek but different. That's what I'm gonna get a tattoo of that. How
right.
you describe my backdrop, Pam? No, but you're right. Pam, definitely your backdrop is reflective of you, like the Taylor Swift art, the Gilmore Girls art, the vinyl, your dog, Jasper.
Yeah.
Laura's got a lot of, like, she's got the plant, she's got some books that mean stuff to her.
Yeah.
Great lighting. Her lighting wins.
Yeah, it really does. Plus now you have that like cute little light on your shelf.
That's right. Right. Yeah, I don't know how well it's coming through right now, but it is there.
Great.
I hope this is selling people and checking out the video on YouTube. Here's another thing from the pandemic that I think we all miss: plastic walls at the cash registers. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah. Some doctors' offices still have those.
Oh, yeah.
Like at check-in and stuff, which I really appreciate.
So I have a friend who's a teller, and they have been just like casually letting the maintenance team know anytime they ask if they want to remove those. They call them germ screens or germ shields. It's like, no, it's okay. We'll just keep them. And it's because she works in a major city, and so sometimes like people come in and they don't smell great, or they have bad breath, or to Laura's point, they're just coughing everywhere. So it's kind of like a security blanket for them. But last year, somebody from corporate came in and realized they still had the germ screens up, and they were like, we're putting our foot down. You have to remove them, and we're giving you until March.
Oh my
So,
God.
Wow.
yeah. So they're going to be
Why?
forced to take them down because they said it doesn't look as welcoming to
Oh.
customers.
Good.
It's like,
This
honestly,
is
it
a
should go.
business, not a home.
Well, it's funny because when you look at like old school banks, like new banks are like very sleek and minimalist. But when you see some of these like old banks, they have like bars, like the
Mhm.
tellers are behind.
That's classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic bank classic.
Exactly. So, yeah.
This next one, this one's from Reddit. Somebody wrote, for 1 year or so, people were clean. Washing hands has gone poof. I go into bathrooms and see folks go from a stall right out the damn door. Blah. So I've said this on the pod before. I'll say it again. Men do not wash their hands in public restrooms. And of course, not at home either if they're not doing it in public. So women, they, thems who don't use the men's bathroom, I am begging you, do not touch men out in public. They are disgusting. They make disgusting noises in the bathroom, and then they head straight for the door after they maybe flush the toilet. It's horrific what goes on in these bathrooms.
Andrew, you could have just said, do not touch men, period. Kept it
Do not
moving.
touch men. Today's episode title.
Boys
What,
are
like-
gross.
Why do you think that is? As a member of the male species, I'm looking to understand.
It's like we were saying earlier, they don't care about other people. And they're in a rush to go order another drink. But I think it just comes down to they don't care. Yeah.
Gross.
I do, for the record.
So you can always shake Andrew's hand if you're listening and you
Yes.
run into him in public.
Yes, you can. Environmental recovery. This one's abstract, but sure. Remember when we all had to stay home and like the skies literally got clearer? That was really
I
nice.
remember hearing so many more birds chirping outside than I had previously. And I was like, am I just noticing this because we're in a really weird time, or are there actually more birds?
They were at peace. They were enjoying not being bothered by the humans.
Yeah. They weren't choking on all of our fumes, our tailgate
Yeah.
fumes.
Well, also a lot of like other wild animals coming down, like in it doesn't like ever, it doesn't not happen outside of crazy circumstances like the pandemic, but it's very rare. But you started to see coyotes coming down into San Francisco too, which, like again, it's not something that doesn't happen, but it was more common because there were less people out on the street. So
Well, and to that point, I think some trails were closed for a time and animals started returning to those areas. They were avoiding those areas because they knew humans trafficked them. I'm also thinking of when trails have been closed locally due to flooding and they needed to be restored, like animals started coming back. It's really beautiful to see. People stopped teaching themselves to do things because everybody had more time at home. So they were like, oh, I'm going to bake bread. I'm going to make reusable paper towels or toilet paper or cleaning rags. Somebody wrote on Reddit that their cousin taught himself how to cook and really cook. He would make soups from scratch, learn some restaurant quality dishes and how to can fruits and veggies. But since the pandemic ended, he hasn't done much with it. That was really nice. Sourdough.
yeah, I never
concoctions are
got on
popular.
the sourdough train, but I'm jealous of everybody that got into bread making in the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah.
For a brief shining moment, we were all homesteaders.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I taught myself to play piano.
Oh, that's cool.
And do you still?
I mean, like, I know I haven't done it in a long time, but it's to your point, it's because we were all stuck kind of inside. So,
Yeah.
yeah, not very well, obviously, but I made some good progress. I think the hobbies is a big one, and that's the one that I kind of miss. Just having, I also like got back into creative writing over the pandemic. It's just like having that extra feeling like you had the extra time to fit it into your schedule for whatever reason, and that could be
Yeah.
like with anything, honestly.
Yeah, true. All right, well, that's what we missed from the pandemic. Listeners, let us know what you miss from the pandemic in the comments. Obviously, the pandemic was awful, so that's kind of like a weird sentence to say, but there were some good things that came out of it. Don't forget, we would love your support at patreon.com/millennial. It helps this show run, and we can produce new episodes every week. We'd also love to hear from you. I heard from a couple people after I said I'm going to start rock climbing last week. I was very excited to hear from y'all and get your
Ooh.
suggestions for getting started with rock climbing. So thank you for that. You can email millennialshow@gmail.com, or you can use the contact form on millennialshow.com. You can leave a comment on Spotify or YouTube, or DM us on social. And if you enjoy the show, we would love a review in your favorite podcast app. Time for some recommendations. Laura, what do you have this week?
I'm going to recommend Olipop, and I know this isn't new to most people. It is new to me. I've been drinking the grape one during this recording, and it is actually shockingly good. These are low sugar, low calorie sodas that have prebiotics and plant fiber in them. So, like, I never thought that I would say there's such a thing as a soda that might be like kind of good for you, but they are pretty tasty. But yeah, definitely don't guzzle like a whole pack of them, because that's not what they're intended for. But if you're looking for like a little bit of, if you're looking to scratch that itch, like if you don't drink much soda anymore, but you want to drink something that's not like chock full of sugar, these could be a good option.
And I just realized that my recommendation for the week kind of ties nicely into the pandemic discussion, because I think a lot of us were doing a lot of our beauty maintenance stuff at home as well, because you couldn't go out to the salons. So I wanted to recommend Olive & June's gel manicure system if you're just looking to save some money and start doing your nails at home, either full-time or every once in a while, because manicures are getting pricey. I really like the Olive & June brand in general. Just like their regular manicure system is really great, and the polish really does last about like 10 days. But the gel manicure system is fantastic, and it's really easy to use. Highly recommends the peel-off base coat as well, because it just makes removing it super fast and super easy. And my nails are not damaged, which is nice, because when you get gel too often, I know Laura knows this as well, at a salon, they keep filing down your nail. And so after a while, your nails are a little bit brittle, but I haven't run into this. So yeah, highly recommend that if you're looking to invest in something for yourself.
My recommendation, I am changing reusable water bottle allegiances, y'all. I used to be a Hydro Flask girly, but for Christmas, I got an Owala water bottle. These are the hot new ones, and for good reason. Not even really new at this point. They've been around for a while. I've just been resisting. These free sip water bottles are so nice, because you can either swig your water or you could sip, because it has a straw as well. It's a water bottle with multiple really good features. It's got a locking mechanism. Like I said, it has the straw. Even the big ones can fit into your cup holders in your vehicle. It's like the Cadillac of water bottles, I think. And they have so many different color patterns. They're just so fun to browse. So I can see why Owalas are so hot. And I've converted.
What color did you get?
It's
all about the color.
It's like a earthy green one. I told my
Cute.
sister to surprise me. Yeah, so she went with
that's
that.
nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. After Dark starts in a moment for patrons and Apple Podcast subscribers. I'm Andrew.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Pamela.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.